Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Here we are back again. We have to remind ourselves here that it's Tuesday. For those who are not in the United States of America, may or may not realize that it was a holiday weekend. We have the long weekend with Monday off, so when we go back to work on Tuesdays, it feels kind of off. We have to remind ourselves of the day of the week, but hope everyone had an enjoyable Shabbos and long weekend nonetheless. Lag BaOmer, Baruch Hashem, lots of weddings, which will dovetail nicely to our topic today. But we continue to learn and daven for Chaylei Tzlagan Yisrael, and for Shalema Chol Ptzuei Yisrael, and safe return of our hostages. And our learning is dedicated in memory of Daniel Shimon ben Harav Doron Vasheli, Hashem Yikum Damo. So the next is Chas and Kala. I had a wedding that I officiated on Sunday night, and always thinking of these halachas. So the Shulchan Aruch paskins that when a groom is getting married, he should take some ashes and put it on his head, place where he places his tefillin. And samchu minig zeh al pasuk im mishkachechu shalayim tishkach yemini tidbak l'shonim l'chikim l'ezkarechim la'ales Yerushalayim rosh chasi. Of course, the famous pasuk of Imish Kachechi Yerushalayim, etc., from Tehillim, and Harei shebeis she'adam sameach all of Lizkos Yerushalayim Beis Hamikdash, because at the time when a person is at his most joyous, so he has to remember Jerusalem, he has to remember the Beis Hamikdash, but perhaps saying Al Rosh Simchasi, maybe that's why we put the Ephor on the Rosh. So let's see why he says Menichem es Ephor b'makom tefillin shel Rosh. We put the ashes in the place where you put the head tefillin. Because tefillin expresses the faith and the connection that we have uniquely with Hashem, the Jewish people have. So the tefillin serve as a sort of crown. And when we have the head tefillin, that's something that's visible, and it's the connection that everyone can see. So the Beis Hamikdash, which represents also the connection, the unique connection between the Jewish people and Hashem, but when that remains destroyed in its destroyed state, so then our connection to Hashem is not complete. And therefore, in the place of that crown, of that glory, which is where the tefillin is, that's where we put the ashes. So the custom is to burn just a small piece of paper and just to take the ashes and put it on his head. He writes in parentheses, this is almost funny, some people will use the ashes of a cigarette. So if you're wondering if that's okay, he says, no, it's not, because it's forbidden to smoke. And since it's prohibited to smoke, again, because of health reasons, then you shouldn't use something that's prohibited for this purpose. I love these little footnotes that he puts in, these little side notes. It's in smaller print in parentheses in the Sefer, but very huge message nonetheless. So perhaps more commonplace, or perhaps known to more people, is the custom to break the glass under the chuppah, so that we can, again, show that our simcha is not complete. We want to detract just a little bit, and to show our mourning over the Beis Hamikdash. And some only have the breaking of the glass and they don't do the ashes. The main point, the main objective is that at every wedding there should be something done that's Zecher LeChurban. So for most of us, we certainly break the glass, whether you do the ashes or not, but if you don't do the ashes, if you have the breaking of the glass, that will certainly suffice. When the Beis Hamikdash stood, people used to put a crown or some sort of adornment on the head of the groom, but this became prohibited after the destruction. Only when the Kohen Gadol could wear his headpiece, only then would it be appropriate that a groom could also adorn himself with this type of headpiece. But once the Kohen Gadol can no longer wear his mitznefet, his headpiece, so too the chasanim, the grooms, remove their headpieces as well, again based on the Gemara and Sota. The same applies to crowns or head coverings that the kala, that the brides wear, shekol ator sheminichim al rosha shel kala, im hi asuya mikesav v'zahav asura. If sometimes the veils have certain headpieces, but imagine a tiara of sort. If it's made from silver or from gold, it's prohibited. However, if it's something that is embroidered or some sort of material, that's allowed. What if you have a regular headpiece that's made out of some material, not gold or silver, but it's adorned with gold and silver pieces? Is this allowed? So some say yes, some say no. And Rav Melamed says that the minhag is lahakel, based on the Mishnah Berurah Taf Kuf Samech, that we are lenient in this matter. And since we're lenient, so this is why you might see these types of elaborate adornments that are worn on the head of the bride. So in any event, even when we're celebrating our greatest moments under the chuppah, we do something Zecher LeChurban, and particularly this year, how any of the weddings we've had has, of course, been a mention of the churban that's taken place in Israel this year, which I think is appropriate, even though we're talking about churban based on Mikdash, but we think about all of the suffering, and our simcha is not complete as long as our people are not complete, and especially this year, and hopefully this period should come to an end as well. But in any event, we continue our learning. For the Chayei Tzvagan Yisrael, P'tzua Yisrael, safe return of our hostages, we dedicate Leila Nishmat, Sarah Daniel Shem Ben Harav, Donald Basheli, Hashem Kum Gamo. Thank you for listening. I will see you here next time. Have a great day.